Welcome back to The Couch on 24/7 Miami. That is right. Welcome back to The Couch. We are back for our final segment here in our little, hybrid sort of show that we're doing. This is a new experience for us.
New board for Matt.
New board for Matt. You can catch us at @thecouch_Miami on Twitter.
Yes.
You can follow 247 Miami on Twitter as well.
Every Wednesday, it's us at 9 a.m. You'll hear our voices.
Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. on 247miami.tv. And now on video, that's right. We will have a simulcast.
You'll be able to catch us on the 247miami.tv website for video.
Yeah.
On our show.
A new experience for everyone.
Yeah,
Good
that's
thing.
right.
Good thing W wore his makeup. So we're
I'm
gonna.
young. My skin is tight.
AKA facial hair.
Right. So we did enough spots, enough segment, enough time on Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Let's get back into sports a little bit. There
Yeah,
was
But mixing it in with social media.
Yeah,
a little bit, absolutely,
somewhat of
because everything's
sports.
got to tie back into everything. Everything ties back into sports a little bit.
Everything, even politics.
A little bit. But now it seems that a person that we thought had been out of our lives,
Oh my god.
a certain Miss Grimes, has found her way back into the media.
They were.
That's Miko Grimes' native language. Curse words and screaming and...
Okay, so let's go over what she said.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want it word for word?
Yeah, we can do it word for word. They're her words.
Right. And so I'll read for you verbatim what she tweeted out that caused all of this, which, I don't know, had she been acting up on Twitter beforehand, but here's what she said on Monday. Gotta respect Ross, speaking of Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins. Gotta respect Ross for keeping his Jew buddies employed, but did he not see how Tannenbaum put the Jets in the dumpster with that Sanchez deal? Now...
That is something that could have been said without that word.
I
I think we all know it.
And
It's that anti-Semitic slur, especially with what's going on in America right now.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to it. There's so much more than just the tweet. So then you get the backlash, obviously, from
still
everyone
talking
on
about
social media. So everyone is like, man, you have to shut up. Jay Glazer from Fox and UFC went and said some choice words, actually told her to shut the F up. He's a very prominent Jewish person.
And the Glazer family is the one that owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Correct. It's a different Glazer. They're not related, but it's the same spelling. So that,
Attaboy, man.
Woo!
But she responded to Jay Glazer saying, "Suck my D."
Jay Glazer.
Which, I mean, if she has one of those, that's a whole nother issue. There's so many layers to it. But
Wow, dude.
so she just kept on going, and she kept on going, and she kept on going, and she's saying
She didn't make
that-
anything better.
No, not at all. So she wouldn't stop. After the backlash came, she said that it wasn't racist. She's not being racist. Why would she call two people Jews and try to offend the whole entire, nation?
The fact that they're Jews has nothing to do with it.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but she's backtracking, and she's trying to say that she didn't mean it that way.
That's
And-
absolutely crazy. I mean, at what point? And I don't mean this at all in any type of sexist way. We all have mothers. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying this in any type of bad way.
You're not trying to put anybody in their place.
No, right. But I mean, until when does kind of like Brent Grimes kind of allow this? I don't know if that's the right word to use, but when does he kind of just say, hey, listen, you got to stay out of this, okay? Look, the people who pay him money are Jewish people. And not just like, Jewish people that kind of like, stick it to the background. No, those are predominant Jewish, like they're super involved in the Jewish community. How are you going to say something like that?
Yeah, and I heard a few takes on this today and
Foot in
yesterday
mouth, man.
because, I've been listening to the radio. So I've heard a few different takes. And the one that I kind of agree with is, some people are trying to say, well, the Dolphins and the Buccaneers should not be concerned with Miko Grimes because they don't cut her a check. They cut Brent Grimes a check. And, it's hard to say if the words that are coming out of her mouth, does it really affect anything?
It affected the locker room in the Dolphins.
Absolutely.
Okay, because she was talking crap about Tannehill.
And it can happen at any moment with Tampa Bay.
You're right. But I don't think these teams, I mean,
Hey, listen.
Brent Grimes is the one who needs to tell her to shut up. It can't be the Buccaneers. It can't be the Dolphins. Because if the Buccaneers tell her to shut up, she's gonna act crazy.
You know what they can do? They can release Brent Grimes.
Right. And I
Listen,
don't
this
think,
guy, he's not Josh Norman.
and
No.
the Dolphins never told her to shut up. And the Bucks, at least as far as yet, have had no comment on the situation.
Right.
It's been known that they are unhappy with it from sources, you know what I mean? But their official stance is that they have no comment on the situation.
It's bad press.
It does make Brent Grimes look bad. I mean,
does.
It makes you wonder, like, you know, is Brent Grimes that crazy too? Because, you know, I don't know.
But he's been quiet. He's been.
But look, it doesn't.
A gentleman about it,
like you
if I
said.
may.
Like you said, he's not Josh Norman. So at a certain point, teams can be like, "Look, dude, you're not that good. You're not worth having your wife around."
Right. And I
that's
guarantee
gonna-
you,
yep.
if he was good enough, don't you think the Dolphins would have been like, well, we could probably put
Let's
up with
fight
that
it
for
a little bit.
You
Yeah,
know what I
if
mean?
if Brent Grimes was still a Pro Bowl cornerback, the Dolphins would have been like, "Hey, Tannehill, don't worry about what she says."
Right.
But she is there, and she's just out here
I mean,
causing.
and obviously, I mean, look, I don't know what she's doing now on radio, if she's still on radio or if she's not on radio. That's what she used to do down here. At
yeah, she was
560, I
on
think.
560 down here for a while.
But I mean, that's the bread and butter of the house, man. What he brings in.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's gonna start affecting that, I mean,
Well, she says she doesn't care, and she just continues to pop off. And then now she's made her account. She locked
yeah,
it.
she made it private
Which
again.
I mean, to be
She
honest,
pulled that move with the Dolphins.
oh, she did. She pulled it, and then she deleted it after she got arrested. But I couldn't look at her tweets anymore, anyways, because I was blocked.
You were personally blocked.
Yeah. And here's the funny part. So after she got arrested, I think it was like week 2 or week 3? Maybe week 3 of the Dolphins
it was
game.
week 3.
Week 3, she got arrested. So I tweeted, Miko getting arrested is the highlight of my season. Super Bowl ? Meh. I'm genuinely satisfied. Now, I didn't at her. I subtweeted her. Less than 10 minutes later, because I got a couple hits on it or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then I went to go back and check and see if she had did anything. Blocked. 10 minutes. So, I mean, she's searching, not her mentions. She's looking for her name on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares? I'm over Miko Grimes. She's gonna.
But she also spread a lot of lies though too.
Yeah.
I mean, about the Dolphins wanting. I mean, they released Brent Grimes. They didn't even want to fight Tampa on
Right, and then-
any type of offer or counter offer.
And then
anything like
she continued to even talk about the Dolphins. Like, why does she continue to talk about the
that. That's
Dolphins
my
if
point.
she doesn't
That's
care
my
about
point.
them?
Me, Brent Grimes, right? Hey, we have nothing to do with that team
No.
anymore. Don't
Right.
even mention them.
And she continued. She went on after all of this. She went on another tirade because apparently Dolphins fans were attacking her, and she was like, "With as long as Ross and Tannenbaum are there, and Tannehill is the quarterback, the Dolphins are never going to be
Shouldn't
anything."
be any of our concern anymore. In other news, though,
Yeah.
It's just Brent Grimes. He doesn't he just look like such an innocent, like
He does. He looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, he looks like such a nice guy. He's got this crazy bat bleep wife,
Yeah.
and it's like.
that's what he likes, man.
But anyways,
We're all different, right?
also I want to touch on this. I think this is kind of the biggest thing going on in the NFL right now is the Von Miller kind of contract situation. He almost single-handedly led the Broncos to a Super Bowl victory. Their offense didn't do much. It was all predicated on the defense, and it was Von Miller sacking the quarterback, calls and fumbles, all that stuff. He says he will not play on the franchise tag, which is like $14.5 million, and the Broncos have till Friday to sign him to a contract, or else for the rest of the year he would have to play on the franchise tag, which he said he's not going to do. And I think this is really interesting because you basically, right now what we're looking at is the best defense in football possibly playing 2016 without their best player.
Yeah.
And so I want to ask you guys, not necessarily, I'm not asking you how important he is to the Broncos because we know that. What I want to ask you is, like, do you really think, and this goes not just Von Miller, just any player, just in general, would a guy ever not play football for a year? Like, could Von Miller really sit out for a year just because he doesn't want to play for $14 million? Which, I mean, that's a lot of money, but the big part is the guaranteed money.
That's a big part.
The risk for injury.
Right.
You know, when you're playing on a 1-year contract, you have a risk for injury, which could affect your chances at a future contract. So, how do you feel about Von Miller sitting out a year if the Broncos don't sign him to a big contract?
I would say I don't think that it's terribly realistic, but I mean, we see things happen in sports, especially with the landscape of the way that things are and the money that there is.
Have we ever seen that? Can you remember a time that happening where a guy sits out a year?
Not in my lifetime.
I mean, guys hold out of training camp and, you know, you get hit with a couple fines. It's like $1,000 a day to miss training camp, and usually they come back.
They end up coming back, right?
I don't think it's a money thing, though. I think that at the end of it, it becomes a thing on the inside, dude. Your competitive nature, competitive spirit. You're seeing all these guys do this. You're seeing all these people do
Wade.
that. Why not be a part of it?
That's why Wade wants money, because Wade saw Courtney Lee get $55 million.
Right.
And he saw Mike Conley get $150 million.
But there's
but
also
Von Miller's trying to restructure a contract that he signed last year.
And
Okay,
we
that's
have
nuts.
seen NFL players do this all the time. They want to restructure because they don't like the landscape or the money, and the landscape of the money has changed. And also, NFL contracts are not guaranteed.
Wait, he restructured his contract last year?
Yeah, recently he's
So he's
signed a
still under
long-term deal.
contract.
He's still under contract. but
That
here's
doesn't
the
make
problem.
sense. Why would the Broncos
How do they-
franchise tag
they
him?
can't franchise him if he's
If
served
they-
a contract.
They recently. It was like 2 years ago.
No, it was
Okay.
probably like 4 years ago.
No, absolutely not. He
It
just
could've been a
recently
smaller
signed.
one.
He signed a long-term deal.
The only reason you
problem-
franchise tag a guy is because he's a free agent.
The problem was that he wanted more. The guaranteed money that he got was garbage compared to Olivier Vernon signing for 60 or 52, 53. Who was it that signed with the? Well, it was him that signed with the Jaguars, but somebody else. I mean, that signed for 60 guaranteed. I mean, all these guaranteed contracts. Football, it's not guaranteed. The collective
it's not.
bargaining is a little bit different. So guaranteed money is what's important.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think the Broncos will probably eventually cough up the money. And before we get out of here, I want to touch on Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan retired.
Yeah, man.
He's an absolute legend. He's the greatest power forward of all time.
Very arguably.
19.
Best at his position, you'd say?
Yeah, for sure. And in a couple years when Dirk retires, we'll have this conversation. But in my opinion, 5 titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 2 league MVPs, 1 team, 1,000 wins. With
Same coach.
With Tim Duncan on the court in 19 years, they won 71% of their games. It's unbelievable.
Right.
Mr. Fundamental.
The
think-
big fundamental.
I think it's the highest in any major sport for
Yeah.
any one player on any one team. And,
I mean,
It's hard to argue he's
it really
not.
just goes down as like one of, Kobe just retired and Kobe did the whole farewell tour for a year, so it was a whole big thing. Tim
Tim
Duncan,
style.
in Tim Duncan fashion, just went out. Hasn't even had a press conference yet.
right.
Just what did he do? Just told someone. Just
Pop
told his
cried.
agents like, "Hey, I quit." Like that's what Tim Duncan did. He just called his agent and said, "Tell someone I quit."
And he's Ray Allen 3 from having 6 and going into the whole rings argument with MJ. You know what I mean?
Definitely one of the greatest basketball players of all time. We got to see a lot of his basketball career, so
So
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
every Wednesday, 9 a.m., listen to The Couch on 24/7 Miami.tv. Also on 24/7 Miami on Facebook. You can catch our simulcast. We're at The Couch_Miami. See you next week.
Just a youngin' in this bitch up to no good. In the whip, every day with Nikki, she be riding with me, never trip. Rolling through my city with hundreds and fifties out the blue, like a crip. But I never been